It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. This is the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life. I am your host, Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst. I'm also a certified financial planner. And hopefully this is a show where you feel free to get in touch with us so that you can ask us your financial questions. And I'm going to borrow something we say on our podcast, the Money Watch podcast. This is a show with no jargon and no judgment. So whatever is going on for you, just get in touch with us. Go to jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button. If you want to come on the show live, just check the box and Mark will do everything else. So let's get started. This is an email from Susan. Susan writes, my question is, I sold my home and started retirement at age 63. My husband is 67. He's still working and we are both collecting Social Security. We put our proceeds from the sale of our house in a high-yield savings account, but now the rate has dropped to 3.5%. We don't want to risk losing any of the money by putting it in the market, and we would love to put it in a place that will earn us monthly or yearly income that we can spend without jeopardizing they say initial money. I think they mean that big chunk of money, the corpus of the money in the account. What are your thoughts? Susan, I'm so sorry to say. It's very hard. I mean, 3.5% is not bad. I mean, at least it's ahead of the inflation rate. But I don't know enough about you. It sounds to me like with everything going on, that this account, the proceeds of your house in the high yield savings account, is maybe extra money beyond other money. So let's presume that's the case. One way to drive a little bit more income is to take that money and just juice it up a little bit by creating a CD, a certificate of deposit ladder, or maybe even put some of the money in a short-term bond fund, some of the money in CDs, some of the money in cash. The thing is, if you really don't want to put the money at risk, there aren't so many great options. And as you're finding, as interest rates go down, the whole idea of having this extra cash and having having a nice big chunk of money that's generating income, it becomes a little less appealing. The interest rates go down, the interest you pay is taxable. So all that being said, I'd love to know a little bit more about you. And unfortunately, what you're asking is something that's sort of elusive for investors. I want to earn a bunch of money, but I don't want to take any risk. It's tough, I know. But get back in touch with us because maybe if there are other things going on in your life, we could come up with some different ideas for you. This message is from Anonymous. Anonymous writes, my wife and I are age 45 and 51. We engaged a financial advisor last year, and we're not sure we're getting value for the cost. Okay, so they are paying an asset under management fee, and it is 1.25%. And that is up to $1 million. They happen to have $985,000. They pay about $12,000 a year. Now, the asset under management fee drops to 1% for the next $2 million. It goes down. Okay. So they purchased a vacation home, which takes a lot of our extra cash flow. So there isn't the question of what to do with too much extra cash flow, at least not for the near future. The financial plan they presented us with did not go into the level of detail that we would have liked, i.e., they didn't offer different withdrawal strategies. They do offer tax planning, they are responsive, and I trust them. But is it worth it? My thinking is that it may be best to engage someone 5 years from now when we are closer to retiring and moving towards lower paying jobs. Then they can help us with the tax planning and withdrawal strategies. We have estate planning done. We are insured, so there is no value they can offer there. They also set up nicely as far as investment options for 401ks, IRAs. So I think we could continue along as they set us up for the next 5 years, and that would save us $50,000 to $60,000. What do you think? Well, Anonymous, it kind of stinks for the advisor. It sounds like they actually did the job, but I also get that they didn't kind of go into more depth. I mean, it is possible that you can say to them that you're going to try to manage your own money for the next 5 years and do it yourself, and you want to keep the door open to come back to them. and maybe they'll be game for that. I guess it's a real question of, that is a lot of money, 50 or 60 grand. But I also feel a little bit like, oh, they did set you up. And is it nice to have somebody in your back pocket who has helped you thus far? So I don't know. I don't feel strongly on this one. I'm going to say maybe, but I don't know. One market downturn, we'll see what happens.
5 years is not a very long time either.
Well, 5 years isn't a long time, but 50 to 60 grand is a lot of money.
They're also doing tax planning too.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, are they doing taxes or tax planning?
Yeah,
are they completing your taxes?
But...
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad because I feel like these folks have done the right by them, but maybe, and I guess maybe the other thing is to go back to them and say we really wanted more detailed structure around our financial planning and see if they would do it. Maybe there's an option there. I don't know. I'm feeling bad for the advisor on this one. I've been on that. I've been on the other end of that phone call where you're the advisor and you've set them up and then they're like, I'll do it. But, I'm interested in hearing what their response might be. Okay. Next up, this is from Josh, who writes, I love the show. I listen religiously. You and Mark always give great advice. Oh, thanks, Josh. I'm debating whether to pay off our mortgage. My antennae are up. Okay. Josh says they owe $187,000. The interest rate is 5.4% on a home that's worth $800,000. Their monthly payment, $3,200. Okay, here's the deal. I have the option to pay off the mortgage using funds from my trust, which is currently earning 5.2%. The balance in the trust, $399,000. In addition, we have $140,000 in a high-yield savings account, $170,000 in a regular bank account. We also have a brokerage account with $327,000. And between retirement accounts, we've got a traditional 401k with about $500,000 and IRA $60,000. Our income, $250,000 a year. We spend about $14,000 a month. I'm 37 years old. My wife is 35. We've got 2 kids, 6 and 4. And get this, wife is currently expecting twins. They're going to have 4 kids. Oh, yeah.
And he wants to pay off the mortgage.
We've got $29,000 and a $529,000. Given all of this, would it be unwise to pay off the house for peace of mind? Or is this a situation where eliminating the mortgage makes sense? Mark, did you want to explain your laugh?
There's no way I would pay off this mortgage. No,
not even if the interest rate were higher. So no, we need you to hold on to your liquid assets. You are about to have a massive change in your household. We would guess that your spending is going to rise. And I don't see why I understand the emotional part of it and I get the math of it all, but you're young. So I think if you can live with this mortgage, let your money work for you, and then we can revisit this if things change. But I don't think it would be wise to pay off the house for peace of mind. You know what? When I would pay it off for peace of mind, if you said to me that in that trust, instead of having $400,000, if you said, I have $4 million in a trust, should I pay it off? Yeah, sure. No big deal. But you need your money and access to it. So no, I don't think you should do it. If you've got a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com. We'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are answering your financial questions. If you've got one, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Let's go out to Dan, who listens to us in California. Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good. How are you, Jill and Mark?
We are great. What can we do for you, sir?
We are in a little bit of a dilemma this time of our life, and we wanted to talk to you about some key decisions that we're contemplating to take. And one of the key things that we are considering right now is stopping work early. We actually have a tentative date of mid a year this year, 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been, saving and investing the last 5 to 6 years diligently, and we've been tracking our expenses for the last 3, 4 years as well. And
Okay.
we believe we have enough saved. And
Mm-hmm.
in addition to that, some things have deteriorated at work, which makes it a little bit challenging, to have the motivation that I used to have.
Mm.
And all of those, and we also have, one of us have a chronic health condition. So we thought, is working a few more years and saving a little bit more money worth the active years that we have right now,
Yeah.
than taking the time off and enjoying a little bit of life at this time when we're
Yeah.
healthy and traveling and all that. So that's really the key thing that we wanted to talk to you about.
Okay. Dilemma. Can we stop working early, basically, right? How old are you, Dan?
I'm 53 and my wife here is 51.
Okay. Oh, so so this is very early. And we're talking about mid this year, right? You said mid
Yes.
2026?
Yes.
All right. Do you guys have kids?
They're grown up and out of the house.
How many are there? Kids?
3.
3 kids. All right, great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So are you and your wife both working full time?
I am. My wife has stopped working a year and a half ago.
So how much do you earn right now, Dan?
So my base is around 210.
Mm-hmm.
And there's bonus typically runs, 60, 70 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I also get RSUs, which typically amount to, around 50 to 55K a year.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. You're living fine on that amount of money on your base, right? You can basically float your lifestyle on your base and everything else is gravy.
Actually, we live a lot less than, what we make. We've tracked our expenses. I mean, this is a high cost of living
Yes, of course.
area, as you know, California. The major expense for us is actually rent. We don't own here.
Mm-hmm.
And we've tracked for about 4 years now. And the maximum, total annual expense for us is really about 60K, which is
whoa, that's great, and that includes renting. So you don't own any real estate.
Everything essentially, actually, even travel that we do, travel quite a bit, and we spend quite a bit of money for travel, and that includes travel as well.
Okay, this is great. So, I mean, obviously, if you're looking at $60,000 a year, the numbers are a lot more achievable, right? You didn't say 600,000 that we're spending. Let's talk a little bit about what you guys have saved. Tell me about retirement accounts.
So I'm telling you cumulative numbers here,
sure,
especially for our retirement. So total retirement savings so far, which is accessible after we turn 59 and a half, is about 1.2 million.
And is that pre-tax? Meaning, is it a traditional or is there Roth part of that?
So about 912 of it is pre-tax.
Okay.
290K is Roth.
Okay, got it. So that's for both of you.
Yes.
Will either or both of you be entitled to a pension?
Great point. So actually, from my previous job, I have a pension benefit that I can access after I turn 55. I also have a pension benefit at my current job, which I should be able to access, after I stop working, whenever.
Oh, like immediately?
Yes, I think I can access it. I can access it immediately, I believe. Yes.
Okay. How much will that be?
What I plan to do actually is take lump sum and invest that lump sum in the market.
Okay, but what
I'm thinking currently.
What is the lump sum amount of the current one?
The lump sum amount of the current one, when I stop working at mid-year this year, would be around 101K.
Okay. And you do happen to know the amount if it were monthly? I can't imagine it's a lot. It's because it's 101 is a lump sum. But how much is the monthly?
The monthly that I would be able to access if I were to take it right after I stop would be around 564 single life annuity.
Okay, no problem. The old pension at age 55, do you have the same choice, a lump sum versus a monthly?
Yes.
What's the lump sum?
Lump sum would be about 67K.
And
And
monthly?
the single life annuity would be about 388.
Ideally, you say to yourself, I'll take whatever the lump sum is. I'll roll it into that pre-tax total, which, will bring you up above $1 million of pre-tax retirement. And that's available to you. Then what else beyond retirement have you guys saved? Because obviously you're so young. So, 51, 53 or 52, 54, maybe by the end of this year.
Yeah.
What are you going to live on?
So we've actually started a taxable brokerage a few years ago for that purpose, as to serve as a bridge account. And we have about 774K in that account.
Oh my God. You started it a few years ago? Jeez.
Yeah,
amazing.
2021. I mean, we really piled on, all of the...
Yes. The bonus and the RSUs and everything.
Whatever, yeah.
Do you still have any RSUs to exercise that are vested?
So, yes. So RSUs vested with some crypto. We have actually 40K, which is already vested. RSUs that would vest upon my stopping would be around 55K.
Let's just say you gave your notice right now. They're fine. You give your notice. You're a good person. You say, I'll work for the 6 months. Then all the RSUs, the total would be 95,000 available, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What else?
We have a cash account. We intend to keep, at least 2 years of expenses in a high yield savings account, and we have about 144K in that account.
Okay, great.
HSA as well, which is a total of about 35K.
Oh, which brings me to an interesting point. You're so young. What are we going to do for health insurance if you retire?
That's exactly one of the key questions that I wanted to talk to you too.
So you could elect COBRA for 18 months, obviously. That's as far as COBRA will take you. Is there any other way that you can access health care through old employer for either you, your wife, or through your current employer?
Not where I would be stopping. I wouldn't have the enough service to do that. So what we intend to do is really get on COBRA, and California has another 18-month extension. So
I didn't know that. That's so interesting. Beyond COBRA?
Beyond the federal COBRA,
wow.
There's another 18-month California state extension that we could tap into. So we intend to stay on COBRA for 36
the first 3 years,
basically.
Yeah. Yep.
And then potentially
go to the exchange.
To the exchange, or get a part-time job or something. That's what we're thinking to do.
We'll get back to Dan in just a minute. If you have a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out on Fridays, so a great way to prep for the show. Doing that will also entitle you to our blog. Okay, we'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show. And yes, tax season is officially open, and that might mean you've got a bunch of questions. The first thing I encourage you to do is go to the website, JillOnMoney.com. I wrote a very long blog post about tax season. There are a lot of changes that are afoot. I also would encourage you to check out our subscription service. It's called Jill on Money Live. For $45 for the next 12 months, you will have access to quarterly live webinars, the back catalog of those webinars, and bonus audio and video content. And guess what? Our next webinar is on Thursday, February 26th with CPA Ed Slott. He is also an IRA expert, and he is also the man who convinced me and Mark that the Roth is basically the best retirement planning vehicle ever. There are 2 ways to get access to that webinar. You can subscribe to Jill on Money Live, again, $45 for the next 12 months, or you will be able to watch the webinar as a single webinar for $15 after it airs. So 2 different ways to get it. Whatever works for you, works for us. Right now, let's get back to Dan from California. Dan, when you look at the that COBRA amount, and we were talking about expenses, should we increase your expenses based on the fact that, I don't know how much that will cost you, but like when you go on COBRA is fairly expensive way to purchase health insurance. So should we add your expenses? Should we kind of move those expenses to, instead of 60, more like 80?
We actually, a lot of modeling that I've done actually includes, anywhere between 25 to 30K for healthcare coverage in addition to that 60K. So
it's part of the 60K?
Yeah. Our expenses,
wow.
Yeah. Our expenses, we think, comfortably would be okay in that 90K to 100K a year.
You must have some cheap rent.
My God, yeah.
It's really not cheap. We live a modest life.
Okay. All right. So you have all this and the kids are taken care of. Do you have, since you're young, I'll just say, do you have parents you need to worry about?
Our parents live overseas, they're not helping them here and there, a few, $100 dollars.
But nothing big. So you rent, so do you own any real estate or not?
We do actually. We have a paid-off house in Florida. We intended, to use that maybe down the line. We thought we could use it as a retirement house, but things didn't work out as we thought. It costed us a lot more than we thought we want to spend. So it's underwater at this point. So
how much is it worth? Do you figure?
$350, I think, currently.
And underwater in that you owe more than $350?
We do, yeah. We spent more than $350. Essentially, we don't have any mortgages already.
You've paid it off.
Yeah.
So you own this house so you're not underwater. That was that term means something different to both of us. I just want to say why, because when I hear underwater, I thought you were going to tell me that you had a $380,000 mortgage. But there's no mortgage. So I don't care if you lost money on this thing. It doesn't matter to me. That's water under the bridge. It really is. But it's worth $350. How much rent are you receiving?
We're getting, property management, everything covered. We're getting about $1,900 a month.
Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And you intend to keep this, or is this an asset to sell for your retirement?
At this point, our intent is to liquidate it probably in anywhere between 3 to 5 years.
Okay. But I want to just say one thing, even though I know this is going to fall on deaf ears because I hear it in your voice already.
Yeah.
I don't care if you sell it for a loss. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If you can sell this and, what did you buy it for?
So it was actually a construction project that we bought the land and we contracted a builder, a general contractor, which didn't work out as well. So we had to switch another one. So that's why we spent a lot more than we thought we would. So it costed us about $425 at this point.
Oh, big deal. All right. So whatever. I mean, so you can claim the good news about selling a rental property and claiming a loss is that then all that rental income and that depreciation, hopefully it's not going to be a big tax issue for you when you sell it. So that's good. So we don't need that right now because you do have this money. And when you look ahead, what do you think is the fear in this game plan?
The fear basically is if I leave, obviously, I think I'm at my peak earning time. The concern is if I want to go back to my current job in, after 3 years, take some time travel, do whatever we want to do, And if I want to go back to, it's almost certain
I would
that
say,
I will not be able to.
yeah, I would say that is not, I mean, if that's your game plan, you shouldn't do it.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm going to wait for 3. But
No.
but if you could do this, like, okay, let's play this out.
Yeah.
You're done in the middle of 2026.
Yeah.
Right. And so we got 6 months from now. I presume you're just putting your retirement contribution up to the match at this point, and you're putting everything else in. Okay. So you retire, and we'll talk a little bit about the allocation in a second. But between the vested RSUs, the unvested RSUs, and your brokerage account, you'll have about almost $900,000.
Yeah.
This will be the money you live on for the next, let's see, you said you were 53. So we've got to do this for, 6 years, right? Seems to me that, unless you have a massive tax liability embedded in this brokerage account, it would seem to me that that's a pretty good game plan, right? I mean, it seems like this should work, right? You're not even going to necessarily spend down the whole brokerage account over that period of time. Let's just say that 60 grand a year you have to take, let's say you have to pay some taxes. So, you take 80 grand a year out of your brokerage account. You pay some taxes, you build up, make sure you have your high yield savings account where you want it to be, and we account for inflation, and I think you're good. We'll wrap up our conversation with Dan in just a minute. If you've got a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we are here trying to help you make better, sometimes just less fraught financial decisions. A lot of you have very good instincts. We hear from you all the time. Maybe you just want another set of ears and eyes on a situation. Both Mark and I are certified financial planners, so we've studied up on ways to look at your entire financial life and provide you with some different options for how to move forward. So if that sounds appealing to you, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, give us a lot of detail if you don't think you're going to be coming on the air, because we can't follow up if you're not on the air with us. But if you do want to come on the air, just check the box. Mark will do everything else. And while you're on the website, you'll see we've got a podcast link, which brings you to our 2 podcasts. There's Jill on Money, which airs Monday through Friday, and then there's the Money Watch podcast that airs on the weekends. And we'll link you up, and you can subscribe and get lots of Jill and Mark for the whole week. Oh my gosh, you might get sick of us. Okay, right now, let's wrap it up with Dan from California. At that moment, when you're 59 and a half, you haven't spent down the whole brokerage account. We have access to your retirement account where you would definitely pull the pre-tax money out first to live on, right? That of that 9 or a million, whatever it ends up being, that would come out over the course of time. I think this works. Mark, do you think this works? I think this looks like a plan that can actually work, which is very odd for someone in their early 50s.
Well, it all comes down to the spending. I mean, if the spending stays where he says it is, then yeah, it works. They just have to be comfortable spending down what they have.
Yeah. Are you comfortable with that notion of like, you've saved it up, can you spend it?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like I said, both Jill and Mark, I actually run all, money simulations on our expense. This is really our max expense. We live a very modest life. The only variable is we're renting now, and we would like to settle here in California simply because we like it.
Yeah.
But then
what's
again,
not to like?
The house, buying a house is a little bit.
You're not going to buy a house.
Expensive.
That I think you're going to keep renting. So your variable is rents go up dramatically, but it's not going to go up so much faster than inflation over time. I mean, you're still young. So you said, here's my dilemma. Can I stop working early?
Yes.
I think that that's not really a dilemma. I think you can because, as Mark said, you don't spend a lot of money. I don't think you should enter this as like the game plan and think you're going back to making a couple $100,000 a year. If that happened, great, because maybe you're like, oh, we traveled for 2 years. I'm so bored and I get another job. Fine. But let's not make that a condition for choosing to do this.
Okay.
I think it's worth saying we're going to have some fun. Life is short. There is a health issue. If for some reason your expenses start ballooning and, in today's dollars, it's not 60 and you're like, oh, it's 3 years from now, really it's closer to 80, then I think that, maybe one of you will have to consider some part-time work, but that's not the worst thing in the world either. I think you could do it. And then I didn't even include the sale of your house in Florida, and that will also help down the line. So I think this is doable. A very strange set of conditions, and yet you can do it. And as Mark said, it's because you don't spend a lot of money. You guys have lived within your means, saved a lot of money. I will say that for whatever is in that brokerage account has to be locked down. So you cannot be 100% in stocks if you're living off that money. So what is the allocation of that brokerage account?
Right now, it's really in
mutual funds,
basically in S&P 500 mostly.
You're going to have to start scaling the risk back on that. You just have to, because it won't grow as much, but you cannot afford to have a wipeout event. You cannot afford for that brokerage account in 6 months to go from $800,000 to $400,000. You cannot afford, you can't take that hit. So it has to be a more balanced account.
So my hedge against market downturns is really we will be keeping large amount of cash in accessible saving accounts, which we intend to bump up our cash reserves to more than 200K.
Okay.
So that was our strategy to not.
Yeah, but I get that. I'm going to tell you that if you're 55 years old and your account goes from 800 to 400, that cash is not going to make you feel good. You're going to be grateful that like, oh, thank God I have the cash, but it's scary when you have no income. So I want you to just at least contemplate going from 100% stocks to 80% stocks and then maybe 70% stocks. And every time you're spending the money from the cash, you have to replenish it. So you have to have a portfolio that you have to be very diligent and be very careful about the risk when you're living off the money. That's all. And so if you're willing to do that, if you want to just say, I'm rolling the dice, I don't care, I'm cool, fine. I've been through this a lot with people. When you don't have income, it's a lot scarier to go through one of those horrible events. So that's that's the only issue that I see. And you guys have your estate planning done?
We actually, we've been listening to you. I know this. I know you would be asking this. So we actually have scheduled a meeting with our state attorney.
Fantastic.
Thursday. So we'll
great.
Get that done. Yeah.
Great. If you've got a financial question, we'd love to hear from you. Just go to JillOnMoney.com. Jill on Money will be right back. Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to help you navigate your financial journey. If you need a few different route options, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, and in the upper right-hand corner of the website, no matter where you are navigating on the website, you will see a Contact Us button. Click that button, write us a note, and if you would like to join us live on the air, check the box, and Mark will arrange to bring you on with us. And I love it when you come on live because then we can ask lots of nosy questions. We also get to ask follow-up questions, which can sometimes reveal a lot more about the issue that is on your mind. And if you're really shy, I get it, but we can anonymize you. We can change where you live and your name. It's all fine. Just try to make the leap. It really is a better experience if you do come on the air with us. But for you shy folks, of course, we love to read your emails, and I'm going to read one right now. So here we go. This email is from Sam, who writes, I will be 70 in May. My wife just turned 66. We both work full time. I want to start collecting my Social Security once I turn 70, but I have no clue about the steps. Is there a resource or planner that you can refer me to? Well, Sam, it may not be necessary to hire someone to do this, but it will be necessary to take a few steps. The first one is to go to ssa.gov. That is the Social Security website, and you'll see from the homepage it will say apply for Social Security benefits. Once you click on that, it will then prompt you to say, who do you want to apply for? You'll say you, an adult age 18 and over. And then what do you want to apply for? And you'll just check the retirement box. You will then be taken to a page that says submit an application. And I think it's pretty intuitive. But if you have any problem, of course, get in touch with us. I'm sure that we can help you out. Love to hear how it goes. But this one might be pretty easy for you to do on your own. Okay, if you are listening and you've got a financial question, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, our website, and click the Contact Us button, which is in the upper right-hand corner, and write us a note. Don't forget to tell us if you want to come on the air live. You're listening to Jill on Money.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of the Jill on Money Show. If you've got a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Okay, let's get the hour started. It's listener Paul who joins us from Chicago. Hello, Paul. What's going on?
Hello. How are you, Jill? Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. What's going on? What can we do?
I feel very fortunate. I've been working hard for many, many years. And I find myself at a crossroads. I trying to figure out, can I get off the rat race, and can I potentially downsize work, to a sort of second act before finally retiring.
I like it. So we're looking for a glide path, but not a like I must get out because I'm miserable, but like a different trajectory, slowing down a little bit because you've saved a bunch of money. Is that fair?
Yeah, and the question is, how quickly can that glide path be executed? Is it 18 months? Is it 5 years? Is it 8 years? That kind of thing.
Okay, let's talk about the details. So first of all, Paul, how old are you?
I am 57.
57, and you are married?
I am.
Spouse is how old?
She's 51.
Okay, you're both working full time?
We're fortunate, yes.
Okay. And how much do each of you earn, or give me a combo, whatever is easier for you?
Combined is with bonus, which is pretty predictable, about 520.
And you're both putting money into retirement accounts?
Yeah, we both max out our 401ks. We both get a modest match. We have, over the last few years, switched to predominantly Roth versus traditional for the advantages Roth presents, I think, for retirement in particular, and trying to do that even more. I think I just changed our percentage over the holiday break to a higher percentage to Roth for the new year. Cool.
When you say max out your 401ks, do you also mean the catch-up contribution?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And how much have you saved? Let's start with traditional. How much is in a traditional retirement account?
So we've got approximately, because we've got lots of different types of accounts.
Mm-hmm.
We've got in pre-tax savings, so like 401ks
Yep.
and IRAs, IRAs, not Roth, about 3.2 million.
Oh, that's great. Okay. And what about Roth types?
Roth, we've got just under 400,000.
Do you also have money saved in a brokerage account?
We do. We've got about 600,000 in a brokerage account.
Do you guys own or rent in Chicago?
We own.
What is the house apartment worth?
The apartment is worth 1.7, give or take.
Mm-hmm. And is there a mortgage outstanding on it?
There is, but I think it's a good mortgage at
Mm-hmm.
2.75%.
Oh my
And we've
God.
got a 500,000.
500,000 left. And is this a place, even if you slow down or whatever, you're going to stick around? Because this is like a great low mortgage interest rate. So I'd love it if you didn't move.
It's almost impossible to move. I mean,
Yeah.
part of me was one of the questions is how do you tap into the substantial equity, right? We got about over $1 million of equity there.
Mm,
How do we leverage that without going like reverse mortgage kind of fee heavy things in the future?
probably not yet. Just not. How about that? Not
Right.
tap it. That might be interesting, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Well, we'd
What
like to
about?
potentially buy a place in like, somewhere else, like a country place or something and,
Oh,
warmer environments, nothing terribly fancy, but just a, 1,500 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bath kind of place somewhere that could give us a little piece from the big city.
let's. Do you guys have kids?
We do. We're lucky. We've got 2 kids. One's a freshman in college. One's a freshman in high school, and we've saved in 529 plans. We've got about $500,000 in 529.
Okay,
About
amazing.
250 per each.
And the high school, is it public or private?
It's public.
Okay. And how much is college for the freshman? Is this a public or a private college?
It's a grotesque amount of money for a private institution.
How much?
$91,000.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's what I
Yes.
had to
So-
look forward to, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But let me ask you this. So you have 500,000, 250 each. What happens to the freshman in the middle of junior year?
Well, it's a good point. We've already paid for the first year, so that's net of paying for freshman year.
Okay. Okay. So you mean you have
So the good news
250
is-
in addition to so you basically are going to get you'll cripple through the 4 years.
Yeah, we'll probably, I think we'll have to supplement about 10,000 each if you do the average about 10,000 a year for 3 years.
Okay. Next
Yeah.
question is, how about just money in the bank?
We have not a ton because I try to put it into our investment accounts, and we have a decent amount of cash in investments. I feel like the market's so overpriced, so I've been sort of taking a little money off the table, particularly like tech side of things. So we have plenty in like high yields, Fidelity savings, savings accounts kind of thing, a money market rather. In the brokerage, probably 150 there, but actual just like a plain old checking account, 40,000.
Okay, got it. Do you have any other assets that we have not covered?
There's deferred comp at work. There's some
When does that
company
come to
stock.
you? That deferred comp?
Comes upon leaving my employment, so it's essentially a way to reduce your tax burden today.
Right, you push it out into the future. How much is
Yeah.
in the deferred comp?
About 100 company stock.
Oh,
You know,
how much is that?
So I've got about 65 that's vested, and then another probably 80 that's non-vested yet. Right. So it vests
If you
over
gave your
time.
notice, do you lose that unvested or do they vest
Yes.
it for you?
If I gave my notice, it would be unvested. So that's why from conservative perspective, I
Just
say
for-
65.
Okay, got it. Anything else that we don't have? Okay, wait, I have a couple of other questions. Life insurance, because you have
whole life
kids.
insurance policy.
A whole life?
insurance. Yeah.
Oh my God, wait a minute. That's a can of worms. Okay. How much is the
So-
death benefit?
The death benefit's about $1 million. The cash value is 171 now. It's something that believe it or not, I was incredibly skeptical of. I still am very skeptical of. And we bought a small policy in my wife's name. Right, it's about $8,000 a year, right? But it's actually, when you look, there's the first couple of years, truly the cash value doesn't increase much. But now, in like the 15th year of it, this year we put it 8,000, and the cash value increased like 20,000. So I was surprised.
I love how you can delude yourself. I've dug myself a hole for 15 years. And now I'm finally reaping the benefit. I mean, obviously, if we took that same money, I'll give you the difference.
I love it, Joe. This is why I almost was going to put 50,000, because at the time the guy's like, put all the money instead of your 401k, put it here.
Okay. So just to be clear for everyone listening, if Paul and his wife 15 years ago, right? Remember, he's 57. So 15 years ago wasn't like a spring chicken, but you were in your early 40s. If you'd bought yourself a 20-year term policy then and put the money in some, mix of funds, or just put more money into your brokerage account, I can guarantee you would have been better off. We'll get back to Paul in just a minute. It's Jill on Money.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's Jill on Money, where we are trying to help you make better and sometimes just less bad financial decisions. If you've got a question, just go to jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Let's get back to Paul from Chicago. You probably still need some life insurance, at least until the freshman in high school is kind of through but that whole life is going to be something you can easily tap into.
We do have term insurance too. So we have term insurance for a lot, for another, $2 million each separately. Mm-hmm. And then also through work, included with work is another a couple $100,000, I think 2x salary. So
how much money do you guys spend?
So living in a big city is expensive with kids and school and all those kinds of things. I would say, to be conservative, when I looked at the last 2 years of our bank statements, it just took an average.
Yep.
And I would say it averages about $25,000 a month.
All right. That's a real number. And if you were to think about this off ramp, okay? Mm-hmm. And you said, when are we talking about? Like right this second, or in a couple of years? Like what's your thought process?
I'd like to say no more than 5 years. Mm-hmm. My goal would be, I'd like to step off in no more than 5 years.
3 to 5 years would be good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful. My gig is stressful and it's incredibly all consuming, but
But if we could get you done at 60, right? And then at age 60, for let's say how long you'd work. Just give me an idea. Like, when you think about an off ramp, number one, what could you guys make? And number two, how long you would do that for? Well,
and this is where the age difference helps. My wife is 6 years younger. And the type of work that she does, she loves what she does, which is awesome. And so I think she'll probably stay, at least till she's 65, right? So that, that turns me into my, till I'm already in my 70s.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have the buffer. She's taking home, with her bonuses, probably 220.
So but when you think about that, your 3-year time horizon, it's a pretty low bar, because she's making 220. I mean, I know you make more, but that's a huge chunk of money that she'll keep making. Instead of you making 300, could you make 100 and be happy doing something?
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
Okay.
I'm talking about, I want to work at a nonprofit. I want to go teach. I literally want to say, how can I do something where truly it's more about giving back than it is trying to make the last dollar in revenue, because I've got to pay for $90,000 of college.
Okay. So in 3 years, 3 to 5 years, but let's just say 3, because you will have already saved, working for 3 more years, you can throw a little bit more money in the 529. You're saving more money. But then at your age 60, you're done. You make 100. She keeps making her 220. You keep doing that for, I don't know how long, 5 years, you'll do your 100. Maybe you'll do a little bit more. I don't know. But this works to me, even though you spend a lot of money, because you're going to basically float your lifestyle, not 100%, but like between the two of you, you will also, I guess your expenses will probably go down because the kids will be gone, but not, let's not even contend with that. Let's say that of your brokerage account and of the deferred comp and all this stuff that money is out there, you will fund the difference between the 25 grand a month you need and the money that's coming in, right? So of your portfolio, we need gross out of the portfolio. Probably you would start tapping that pre-tax retirement funds, right? You would get that money out and you would probably take another 10 or 15 grand a month out of your traditional retirement funds. And that's what you would do until you claim your Social Security. And then it would be less. I think you can do this. Actually, I feel pretty good about it. Mark, do you agree that even though, so we spoke to somebody right before we got on the line with you, and that person spent like really low amount of money and saved a bunch. You've saved a lot of money and also spent a lot of money, but your wife's willing to work, and that does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So I think this works. Mark, do you agree?
Yesterday's caller spent $5,000 a month. These guys $25,000 a month, but both situations work because, like you said, the wife loves her job, plans to keep working. She earns a good living. They have a lot of money already saved. Yeah, I think it works.
I think it works too, and I would even suggest that. I mean, I don't know how you guys like are really thinking about the timing of it, because it doesn't really matter because you can get your health benefits through your wife, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because right now we get them through me. That's what another thing that I think is a plus is I'm not worried about, waiting to get on Medicare when we're 65.
Okay. Now, let me tell you what's going to blow this plan up.
Yeah.
Do you want to know? If you desperately...
AI crashing?
No, I don't care about that. That'll happen or it won't happen. But if you're like, I want to buy something in the warm weather, I would not do that. You need your money right now. I think that we need to see really what happens. Like, I think if you want to buy something, then the choice will probably be, you said, what did you say? A 3-bedroom that like you want to buy some. Let's just pretend you bought a
500,000.
How 500,000?
Yeah.
I don't think you could do that. I would rather you rent and like just why do you need a second place? That's just going to add to the expense.
So here was the thinking, Jill.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. We were thinking about buying a place, using it as a short-term rental, taking advantage of depreciation for the first couple of years, only use it a couple of weeks a year and meet all the rules, do everything by the book, of course, and then eventually convert it into a regular home. But we've already depreciated it and gotten the the tax advantage from
This sounds very exciting, and I'm not interested. If you want to do that, that's fine. Don't spend too much on your second place. Have you ever been a landlord?
I've not. So this is I haven't said I've done it. We're thinking about it. So
okay, fair enough. Yeah. I am not a great fan of that. I think that I would be very careful. Okay, if you want to do it, and I would rent first. Taste where you're going to be, try it out, and then maybe, we say, oh, I found this. Here's what I think we can do, and assume all the worst case scenarios. And if we don't blow through all of your money, then maybe. But I am not a huge fan of trying to walk into the real estate market in my 60s, never having done that as a landlord. So I think that's unless like unless you said to me, oh, you know what? We rented for 3 years in this southern place. We love it. We are selling our city apartment. We're taking $1.2 million. We're buying another place for $800,000 in the southern climate.
And that is something that we've been debating. I keep saying to my spouse, we should sell our place and rent, and then buy a place in the warmer weather. And
first,
that way,
try everything out. First. Please do make no big decisions, but we try it out. Okay.
Okay. No, thank you for that. That's good feedback.
All right. Now, last question. Do you have your estate documents?
We do. We've got will, and there's a trust in there. I forget exactly how it's set up, but it's.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's all done. Yeah. Fabulous. Okay. You manage the money yourself, right?
I do. I had a degree in finance.
Oh,
I've worked.
I will
Doesn't mean
say,
I know anything, but my point is
no.
I feel comfortable with it. But at some point, I'm also trying to figure out, does it make sense for optimization for taxes and so forth to go somewhere? The idea of paying someone 1% of assets under management seems insane, though. So I don't like that model.
Okay, well, you might want to pay somebody to do some planning work for you. I think what would be helpful would be to have somebody analyze that insurance contract. That I think would be worthwhile. Even if you said, I want to pay someone, for 5 hours of time, or it probably wouldn't even be that much. Someone needs to look at that policy. You can find a fee only planner who you can say, hey, I need a second opinion as to whether I should keep this or whether I should extract the cash value from it. And do I have enough life insurance in general? And that I think you can pay somebody to do, an insurance analysis for sure. Jill on Money, we'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life. Let's talk to Jennifer from Washington State. Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
Great. Good morning. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on.
We are terrific. What's up? How can we help you?
Well, I'm 62 years old, and I am wanting to retire. I'm one of those burned out nurses from the COVID days.
Oh,
I'm not having to do a direct patient care job now, but still, it's just I'm ready to be done with all of it. So I have some brokerage money and a pension, and I'm just wondering. Sometimes I'm wondering whether I should. Maybe I'd like to retire as soon as possible, of course.
because you're exhausted. That's why. How long have you been a nurse?
This is my 30th year.
30th year. So let's do it
Yeah.
this year. There's great symmetry to that. So let's start with some basic facts, okay?
Okay.
Are you married, partnered, single?
Single.
Kids, no kids?
No kids.
Oh, this makes my calculating a lot easier. Okay.
Good.
Pension. If we give your notice, like I don't know how long you've worked there, but you give your notice, what is the pension amount that you would receive?
Well, the pension is from an old job that I had years ago. I qualified for their Tier 1 pension, but it depends on when you take it. So you can do the lump sum and stuff, but I always just figured I'd take the monthly. But if I started taking it this year, I think it'd be about $16.70 a month. If I waited till I'm 65, it'd be about $19.93 a month.
$2,000 a month. Okay. Does your current employer, there's no benefit, no pension benefit, right?
No pension, no.
Okay, got it. Are you saving money in a retirement plan
Yes,
for your current?
Yes, Fidelity. It's all in Fidelity.
Okay. So tell us about the retirement savings you've accumulated there.
I have I think altogether about 680 in the brokerage altogether with the whole.
When you say brokerage, are we talking about retirement or a taxable brokerage account?
I think the taxable brokerage account.
Okay, so we have 680 in a brokerage account. Got it. And then what about in like a 403B, a 401k? What do you got going there?
Okay, wait a sec. So the 403B, I have it professionally managed. So the 403B right now it's just this year's accumulation, which is almost 17,000, and then another 3,000. So it'd be about 20,000 for this year. But I had rolled it all over into an IRA last year.
Okay, how much is in the IRA rollover?
529.90. Oh, about 520, about 530.
530 in the rollover, and that's
not
all.
Part of the 6 something.
That's not part of the 680, right?
It is part of the 680.
Okay, so you got an IRA rollover with $530,000, hasn't been taxed. Any Roth assets?
Yeah, 66,000.
Any other money in a brokerage account that's already been taxed, not a retirement account, just a plain old brokerage account?
$37,000 in that was in a cash management account that I put half of that into just another account for.
Okay.
to make some money.
And what about other cash?
I have about $38,000 in cash management account. And I have another, I just found out I had some $10,000 account somewhere that I can roll over into the Fidelity stuff. And then eventually when I'm 65, I have another little $700 that'll be coming in a month.
Oh, in addition to the that pension, do you have another $700 a month stream of income?
Oh, yes, but not until I'm 65 on that one. Yeah.
Don't worry. Do you own your home?
No, I rent. I just rent.
Okay. Now, if you look at all the rental, the price that you're paying for rent, you add up your expenses, your food, you have some fun, you live in a beautiful place. You're like, oh, I live this outdoor life. I love doing this, that, and the other thing. What are we talking about in terms of your spending?
I would say $5,000 to $6,000 a month, depending.
Let's say $6,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you retired, burned out nurse, for the next 3 years, what would we do for health insurance?
Well, that's the thing. If I took the PERS, if I took the pension thing, now I could qualify for some less expensive health care for that. It'd be like $700 or $800 a month, but it'd be high deductible. So I'd have to be like, oh, I hope nothing bad happens,
Or you'd have to like go on the exchange for 3 years.
Yes, or I'd have to go to the exchange, which I was talking to somebody about that, and that'd be about $1,400. Or I could do COBRA for the only 18 months and then go on the exchange. But
then I have to have you work for an extra 18 months. Like I've did,
right.
Right? I don't want you to do that. Okay.
No,
so if let's say that of the $6,000 a month in spending, at least in the beginning, how about if we make it $7,000 just so we have some health insurance built in there? What do you think?
Well, we can do that. Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay. Do you have to take care of anyone? Sibling, parents, anybody?
Well, yes, I'm helping take care of my mom, who's, she's almost 87. She's had some health issues. And so I'm over there a fair amount, and I give her some money every month. And plus, just regular stuff, taking her, doing stuff, getting stuff done. She's on a fixed income, so I pay for a lot of stuff.
And it's just you? You have siblings or no?
I have a sibling, but he's got health problems. And so he's not involved with any of that.
And she lives in her own home?
She does. She's, of course, wants to be independent for as long as possible. I don't blame her. I get
That's
it.
fine, but I don't want you to pay rent, so maybe you could just move in there. I'm just kidding. How much is your rent, by the way?
No. Well, I have a really good deal with this right now. It's $1,450.
Oh, that is good. All right. I will not make you live with your mother, I promise. What about your Social Security benefit? What does that look like at your, let's say, 67?
67 at this point, it'll be $3,500.
Okay, $3,500. Are you maxing out your retirement contribution right now?
I can't remember. It's like 15%. I think it's like 15%.
But you're putting a bunch of money in there, right?
Yeah, like $20,000 a year or something.
And how much do you earn right now?
About 146, I think it was 148, something like that.
Let me ask another, like a little last question. I think you're very close and you probably can do this, okay? But is there any world where you would say, I'm burned out now, but if I just reduced my hours or I went from full-time to part-time, is that something that is interesting to you or possible for you?
Well, I could manage that. I mean, I really would rather just not, but they don't. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this at work, get to part-time, but they're like, no, we want you to work full-time. I just cut some hours. I work 80 hours, but I cut it down to 70. But
80 hours?
I know. I'm working full-time. I know.
80
well, now I'm only
hours.
working 70. I mean, per pay period.
Holy moly.
No, I'm working full-time. I mean, just 40 hours a week,
Okay. We'll get back to Jennifer in just a minute. If you've got a question, go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show. We are answering your financial questions, which, by the way, happen to have a lot to do with the bigger questions in your real life. Let's finish up with Jennifer from Washington State. Mark, can we help Jennifer get out of this? She's burnt out. She's fried. So let's think about this. She's 62, and she could get this pension right now. So at age 62, what we could have is $1,670 a month, right, from her pension. And that would give her some sort of cheaper health care for a few years. She would have to start pulling money out of her IRA rollover until she would start claiming Social Security. And even then, I think it's okay. I don't feel like this is a slam dunk. What do you think, Mark?
I'm not as concerned as you are. I think it works. We really got to get from now until 67-ish.
Right. So we got 5 years. We got to take 70 grand a year from the IRA rollover, right? Because we got to take the money out and pay the tax on it.
So, yes, you have to spend down for a few years.
Yeah. So, and that presumes that everything's cool with mom. I think it can work, but it's not easy breezy. So here's what I think.
What is mom's house worth, by the way? I was just curious.
Well, I'm not sure altogether, but I won't, it's probably, I don't think that she'll be, I think she has a reverse mortgage or something.
Oh, so there's no equity in there. Okay.
No, I won't be getting anything from that.
Here's what I think the choices are. Okay. If you are so fried and you just got to say, I'm done, then you'll have to maybe say that you'll do some shift work every so often if things go wrong. Okay, here's why I am concerned. Yes, you have $500,000 in this retirement account plus this 20, let's say 550 in pre-tax accounts, right? And then you've got Roth and brokerage and cash and all that. But even if you spend $6,000 a month or $7,000 a month, your future Social Security will cover some portion of that. But we have to get you to age 67, which means we have to spend down your retirement assets.
Right.
And you're young and you sound like you're in good health. So you could do this. You could be in a situation where, I'm 67 years old. You could live for 25 years and you've spent down a big chunk of your savings. It doesn't mean okay, yes, you will have a pension benefit. You'll have Social Security. Is your pension have a cost of living adjustment associated with it?
I think it's already taken out. Well, I don't know that for sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm hopeful that you do, because that would mean the amount would go up every year. If you had that and you had your Social Security, which is also Social Security adjusted, you'd have, about $5,500 a month coming in today's dollars. And I just think it's if the market collapses and your $500,000, et cetera, goes to 330 in the next couple of years, you're going to freak out.
Yeah.
And so here's what I think the choices are. You can roll the dice and say, you're a scaredy cat. I like Mark's answer better. That's a possibility. You could say, I'd rather do this for a year and a half and make more money and sock money away, or 2 more years and do that. Or you basically say, I've got to figure out a way to work less, right? Instead of 40 hours a week, that you go to 30 or 20 somewhere, whether you leave this place or not. And you do that and you try to not touch the money for a few years, and then you're in better shape. But I think that it has to do a lot with constitutionally where you are. Meaning, if you are really miserable, I'm not the kind of person who desperately wants to make you do stuff you don't want to do. That's terrible. But you have a profession that is highly desirable. Everybody needs a nurse all the time. The question is, could you make 70? Could you make half as much money?
Sure.
For a couple of years and do that and grind it out a little bit? Then I'd feel better about the plan. Now, the thing is, Mark, do you think Jennifer should continue to put as much money into retirement? I'm sort of inclined to be let's build up. Are you doing Roth right now or pre-tax?
Yeah, I've been doing 8,000 in Roth, and then whatever 20,000 into the 403B.
Okay. Mark, what do you think about having a little bit less of a contribution right now.
I don't know about less, but I certainly wouldn't do pre-tax. I don't see the need for that. I would do Roth. I mean, she's at the age where she can tap these accounts. So
yeah,
I would do Roth.
I would do Roth also. Do you like the person who's managing your money?
Yeah.
Okay. How much do you pay for that?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know exactly. I think it's about $4,000 a year.
Okay. So about maybe it's 0.8% or something like that. It sounds like.
So. But I don't want to I'm not one of these people that wants to manage this stuff. I don't want
Not
to
a problem. If this person is good and you're happy.
Why, do you have a suggestion? Do you have something else? I mean,
No. I just want to make sure that the person's doing like the kind of conversation that you and I just had. I want you to be having that with someone who's charging you a fee.
Right.
That's what I want to happen.
I believe so. Yes, the guy at Fidelity. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. So good. If you have a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com. Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are answering your financial questions. If you have one, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. While you're there, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter and check out our subscription service, Jill on Money Live. We've got a live webinar coming up Thursday, February 26th. We're talking about tax filing season, Roth conversions, everything you need to know with Ed Slott. Before we finish the program, let's take an email. This is from Caesar, who writes, I have a little over $260,000 in my Roth and another $25,000 in a traditional IRA that's earning about 3.5% at my credit union. I want to move the traditional IRA into Fidelity and invest it in an exchange-traded fund. I retired from the military, but I plan to completely stop working next January when I turn 60. I'll be able to live off my pensions and see this money as a nest egg for my wife should I pass away. Now, first of all, Caesar, I don't know exactly what you're asking. Are you saying, is this a good idea? Sure, absolutely. Get this money invested. I just wanted to make sure, are we just talking about the traditional IRA or the traditional and the Roth? Either way, I would absolutely encourage you to take the money that is in any retirement account and get it working for you, because as you've seen firsthand, interest rates are starting to go down. And given that you're investing for decades in the future for either you or your wife, it really does make sense to get that money to work for you in a more efficient way. So I'm all for it, and I wish you the best of luck. If you have money that is invested one way and you're considering something different, maybe you want to be more aggressive, maybe you want to be less aggressive, maybe you're not even sure, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and of course, if you would like to join us on the air live, just check the box. Mark will do everything else. In fact, bookmark the site so that you'll always be able to come back. All right, that is it. That is our program. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer and king of all things web, and we ask that you always try to do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.